Welcome to Author Website Review. I'm Thomas Umstattd Jr., and in this special episode of the Novel Marketing Podcast, I will be reviewing author websites. This is something that I do from time to time, and what I'll do is I'll take a genre based off of the comments from the last author website review, and I'll look up the top authors in that genre, and then I will pull up their websites and critique them, and then place them on a tier list. And so my hope with this is that it will help you learn how to improve your author website. Most of the principles apply regardless of which genre you write in. In fact, often the very best marketing ideas come from a different genre than the one that you write in, because your genre, everyone's already copying each other. And so if you want a fresh new idea that will give you an advantage, you'll often get it from a different genre. So with that said, one of the top genres from the last episode was Christian romance. And so we will be looking at Christian romance websites. So the number one best-selling Christian romance author, according to Amazon, when I pulled the numbers earlier today, was Misty M. So let's do a search for Misty M. And we can see that she's ranking for her name, which is very good. And she's also ranking for several internal pages. That's what you want. You want to be able to rank for internal pages as well. There's various factors that will affect this. I'll talk about search engine optimization as we go. Part of this is how good of a fit Google thinks you are for this search phrase. And because I'm including that middle initial, and that's a big part of her brand, its ranking, we'll see how she does for just Misty Beller. She still ranks for Misty Beller, so this is very good. So let's click on this. See, here we are at her website, and she's got a book featured front and center. Typically, this is the most recent book is the one you want to feature at the top. So typically with author websites, your two main goals are to grow your email list and sell your latest books. We can tell she is trying to sell her latest book. So let's click on this book cover. Where book cover should go is a page on your website where people can buy that book cover. That is not where this book cover goes. This book cover goes straight to Amazon, and it does look like it's an Amazon affiliate link, which is good. But if you ever want to sell direct, or if you ever want to have the ability to maybe sell direct in the future, you want to have a page on your website for every book that you write. A page dedicated to that book that doesn't just have buy buttons. It has the description, it has book club resources, it's got quotes and recommendations, and build out a page better than the Amazon page promoting that book. Hopefully you can rank for your book. So we'll take Guarding the Mountain Man's Secret just to demonstrate this. Let's do a search. And so now where does this go? So it does look like she has a page on her website for this book specifically. It's got some reviews. It's got buttons to buy it, including a button to buy it from her store. And she has a store. She's selling direct. So why is she not linking to that page when I click the cover? So this is a very easy change, Misty. If I click your cover, it should take me to this page here on your website that's got the other books. This is where a reader would expect to go. If I click print here, it brings down a list of places to buy it. Very good. If I click ebook, and it also shows me places. Yeah, so don't send people straight to Amazon. You've got this great page. Send people to this page. Now, I would rework this page a little bit. I would move all of these reviews, and I would put them down below. Sidebars don't work as well, especially in this age of mobile. So if we resize this page, let's check for mobile optimization. If I resize the page, these buttons jump around a little bit. These images jump around a little bit. So the mobile version of this page could use a little bit of love. Some of these are not aligned correctly, but it does eventually put them down below. Let's check the search engine optimization real quick. So she's missing her meta description. This is very common with author websites. You can set this in Yoast SEO. She does have a good title, which is very good. And her H1 tag is not about her, it's about her book. So I would have this be pretty similar potentially to her title tag. So in Yoast SEO, you set the description. That's what people will see when they Google. So this right here is just being generated by Google. And it's kind of the luck of the draw if you don't set your meta description. If you set the meta description, Google will grab your meta description typically. But if you don't, Google will, it used to grab random text. I think now it's starting to use AI. So if you don't want Google's AI summarizing your website, set your own meta description. Okay, so let's scroll down here. So she's featuring her book. This is good. So scrolling down, she's got some info about her. This is good. She's got buttons to follow her on the various social networks. That's also good. And then she's got reviews from readers. And then finally, we have the get on the newsletter. So send the free book. I assume this is going to take me to a book funnel page. It's taking me to a landing page where I can sign up to get the free book. Now, Misty, one thing that you might include as well is a just straight join the newsletter opt-in. Because there's a certain kind of person who's going to be coming to your page who is a fan of your books, right? You've got a lot of books. They're selling really well. And some people just want to get on your list. Although we have a subscribe up here. Okay, so you're doing that actually. So you have this subscribe in the menu, which is just for your super fans who don't need to be bribed with a reader magnet. It's great that they get one. No one complains about getting a free book, but your super fans want to be on there anyway. So this is an example of a good books page. I clicked on books and she has her different series here and she has just the covers. This is a really good example. You can often tell the best-selling authors in a genre, they're doing things right. So Misty's has a really good books page. And presumably, if I click these links, it's going to take me to, yes, good, the specific page for that book. So what most authors do is first they write a book, and then they have a page for that book, and all is well. And then they write 2 books, and they take the information about the second book, and they put it on the page with the first book. And now it's unclear to Google what the page is about. And as they write more and more books, that page gets more and more cluttered. What this page is acting as is an index that takes me to specific pages for each one of these books. And Misty's at the point she's written enough books where she's kind of forced to do this. She's not going to be tempted to talk about, 2 or 3 dozen books all on one page, but she can have good book covers. And if your covers aren't strong enough to hold a page up like this, then you need to redesign the covers. So I shouldn't need a blurb. I should be able to just see the cover, and that should make me curious. What is this? Protecting the Mountain's Treasure. I click the link, and it takes me to a page. Again, I would move this over. I think these pages could be redesigned a little bit, but from a content perspective, this has it. And ultimately, content is what makes a website work. So let's take a look at the About page. So I would make this About page a little bit longer. I have just recently built a tool in the Patron toolbox called the About Page Builder. And you actually answer some questions about yourself. You paste in your existing About page, and it will rework your About page to be more exciting and more interesting. The other thing I would do, Misty, is here in your little mini About section, I would add a button that says More About Misty or something like that. And they click that, and it would take them to your About page. The other thing about the About page is it's in first person. This is no good. So if I'm interviewing you on a podcast, if a journalist is talking about you, if a book reviewer is talking about you and they want to copy and paste your bio, they can't. There's nothing in here that's copy and pasteable. There's no press kit. Actually, what is this media link? Okay, so she has a different bio over here that is in third person. This is actually a much better bio here in the press kit page. That works. I would link to this on the About page because the problem with the word media is it's unclear what this is. Some websites have media for like videos and audio or maybe a photo album. So it's not clear that this is for the press. And then bonus features, 5 fun facts about Misty. I would also link to this on the About page. One of the techniques of good web design is pages linking to each other internally and not forcing everyone to go through the navigation. It's good to have things in the navigation, but it's also good to have direct links back and forth. I do love these kinds of quirky pages. She's got a whole page for book clubs, but when I try to go to it, you'll notice the navigation's clipping off the side of the screen. So I would get that fixed. And then reader pictures. Oh, this is fun. I love this. So where would we rank Misty M. Beller on our tier list? She has book pages, which is really impressive, especially for an author with this many books. The SEO could use some work and it could use some polish. So it's not going to be S tier, but I think that we have a solid A tier, which is a great way to start the author website review. So good job, Misty. So our number 2 best-selling author in Christian romance is Abbey Downey. So let's do a search for Abbey Downey. And she is ranking for her name. Very good. Now, you'll notice it just says Abbey Downey Home. This is a missed opportunity. What I would have here is Abbey Downey Christian romance author, something like that. Those are your keywords that you want to rank for, and you don't want home in your heading. So if we go here and we look at the page info, home, Abbey Downey, that's your title tag. So in Yoast SEO, hopefully you're using Yoast SEO. If you're not, I have a whole episode on Yoast SEO. I also have a whole course on author websites. I forgot to mention this earlier. I have a free course on author websites. It's got a section in it on search engine optimization. I'll have links to get that free course in the show notes in the blog version of this episode and underneath the video, however you're getting it, we'll have links to it. There's 2 sections of that course. One is on how to build a website if you don't have one, and the second section is how to make your website better. So interesting. So Abbey Downey does have a meta description. So Misty did not have a meta description. Abbey does. And this is a really good. Abbey Downey is the author of Christian historical romance. Learn more about Abbey's books and her the writing here. And if we go back, it's the same phrase, right? So these phrases you can control. So Google is just copying and pasting what Abbey's telling Google here. And she's never going to rank for the word home, but she could rank for Christian romance author if she would put that in her title tag. So you control that in Yoast SEO or whatever SEO tool that you're using. Okay, so let's take a look at this website. So at a glance, there's actually nothing telling me this is a author website. So we have Abbey Downey, Happily Ever After meets Hope for Tomorrow. So this almost could be a Christian therapist website. Visually, I have to kind of think to decipher Happily Ever After, meaning that kind of hints to it. Fact that this is fiction potentially. So a principle of web design is you don't want to make readers decipher. You don't want to make them think, because that makes your website hard to use. So everything should be very obvious, very straightforward. Now, if we scroll down there, we see a book cover. I'm not going to ding Abbey too much for this, partly because this being so empty invites the reader to scroll down. So there used to be this view that you have to cram everything above the fold. And in the days of Windows 95, and you had to click over and over again on the scroll down button to scroll down, that there was some logic to that. But now scrolling down is very easy. It's just a swipe with your thumb on a phone. And if we look at the mobile version of this, it resizes itself just fine for mobile. And so it's not terrible to have kind of an empty, inviting invitation here. So let's test this big giant book cover. Where does this take us? It takes us to a page for the series, I think. So this is this got the beginnings of a good book page, but then you have the next book here. So this is not what I recommend. I recommend doing something closer to what Misty had, where if it's a part of the series, you have the thumbnails for the covers of the other books. But from a content perspective, 1 page per book will help you rank on Google, and it will help you rank for that book title. And so she does have buttons here to buy the book on the various platforms, which is good. She doesn't have an affiliate link for Amazon, so that's a missed opportunity to make a little bit of extra money and to get some tracking data. So always use Amazon affiliates, especially if you're traditionally published. For a lot of traditionally published authors, it's the only money they ever get outside of their advance is their Amazon affiliate commission. All right, so she has a side-by-side slider here. Clicking this doesn't seem to do anything. So I don't recommend sliders like this. One, they kind of break the experience if somebody's on a phone. You don't want things sliding left and right. You only want things sliding up and down. People will scroll a mile up and down before they'll scroll 2 inches to the left or to the right. So I would find another way of presenting this information in a more vertical orientation rather than a horizontal orientation, which is what Abbey's doing on the rest of this website. So the rest of this website's very vertical, right? And scrolling down, I have this great experience. There's just this one element that's left and right. So we have her most recent book. Very good. That's what you want. And then she's got a sign up here. Sign up for my newsletter and occasional email announcements. Thank you for joining. So that's good. I wouldn't ask for people's name unless you're using it in your email program. So a lot of authors ask for the name. It reduces the number of signups you get. And the only reason to ask for a name is if you're actually using it. If you're actually using it, there's benefits to using it. Now she's got a welcome. Hi, I'm Abby. It's in first person. I'm not a huge fan of welcome letters, but if there's a link here to the about page that's in third person, it's okay, but there's not. And there's no about in the menu. So there's nothing here for journalists, nothing here for industry professionals to copy and paste for press purposes. Then her contact form is down here at the bottom. Clicking the menu takes me down there. Okay, so she has her bio under resources. Resources is not a good word to use in a menu because it could mean anything. Everything on a website is a resource from a certain perspective. Yes, I know the Author Media website currently has resources in the menu. And I know that it's a bad word because I have amazing resources packed in there and no one ever clicks on it. I'm actually about to redesign. In fact, I may have the Author Media website redesigned by the time this video goes live. So I know firsthand resources is not an inviting page. So I would have this called your about page. All of this is good about page content. You've got your bio, you've got your photos, you have your social media. These are all things I would expect to find on an about page. So I would just rename that to about. Don't make it about me. Don't make it about my writing. Don't make it about Abby. Just use the word about. Simple, to the point. So yeah, there's not a lot here, but what is here is pretty. There's some usability issues here. There's some SEO that could be improved. Really, it's simple usability issues. I'd also look into adding some more content, something that could make a reader want to return. You don't have to have that, but if you want more activity on your website, putting more stuff here could be beneficial. I would rank this website probably as a B. If it had a page for the books, for each individual book, I'd probably push it up to A, but lacking the page for the books, I think pushes it down to B. Our next author is Linda Ford. So let's Google Linda Ford. So this is good. She's showing up. She's the first person to show up as an author, which is good. It's an indication she probably has some good SEO, search engine optimization going on. So we have some images here from her Facebook, interestingly. I'm doing this test in incognito mode, so I'm not logged into Facebook or anywhere. I almost want to click on her Facebook and see what's going there, but I will not because this is not a social media review. So we have these drop downs. So books, bio, Linda. This is all very, very promising. So let's click on here. Now you'll notice this is truncating. Linda Ford hyphen Linda Ford is a fan favorite of historical Christian ... which is unfortunate because that word right after historical Christian is probably her most important keyword. So let's go to page info, historical Christian romances. So an easy fix, just cut this first Linda Ford. And then I would cut everything after the word romances. You only have a certain number of characters in a title. You can wordsmith this. So this is some of the most important writing you do is for your title tag. Also, the meta description is missing. Let's see, the latest release in the Wagons West series. Okay, yeah, no, so it's grabbing random text. So you don't want this text to be about the Wagons West series. You want this text to be about Linda Ford. The SEO could use a little bit of work, but she does have the accordion here, so it's better than nothing. What a charming website. So this website is very old-timey. And it's old-timey in kind of a delightful way. So it's old-timey in that it's got kind of black and white images, but it's also old-timey in that it's got that old school 3-column layout, which was very common in like 2004, 2005, back when it was all about squeezing as much above the fold as possible. I'm not a big fan of that layout, but then if it's been working for you this long, I wouldn't necessarily change it. And it looks like she's blogging, which is good. She's blogging on her homepage, which makes this homepage really, really long. So what I would do, Linda, I don't think you need to get rid of this theme. I kind of like it, but I would move the blog off the homepage. So I would have home, and instead of bio, I'd call this about, and then I would put blog right after about. So home, about, blog, bookshelf, contact. You don't need the word me. And then they click on blog and then it shows them all these blog posts. So let's take a look at the about page. First person pronouns in the bio. This is the one part of your whole website can be in first person, except for your about page and except for your home page. You really want this to be your name. Also in this text right here, this should be your name as well. Help Google out. Let's go back to the home page. I don't see anything featuring the most recent book. Oh yeah, okay, actually it's over here. So let's click on this book. Where does it take us? It takes us to Amazon. Bum, bum, bum. And then there's an order button. Where does this take us? It takes us to Amazon. Now, some indie authors will do this. They'll send everyone to Amazon. And I still think it's a mistake if you're an indie author Even if the only place to buy your book is Amazon, I still think you should have a book page on your website for the book. One, so that if you ever want to go wide, you can. And if you ever want to sell direct, you can. You want to start building that reputation, building that infrastructure for that right now. And if you can rank for your book on Google, even if people are buying your book on Amazon, if they go to your website first and you have an affiliate link, you make more money. So you actually get paid doing this. Let's go to the bookshelf. So I like this book page. She's got all of her beautiful book covers here. Very good. But I bet every single one of these links to Amazon, they do. I'm looking down here at the bottom. Now, Linda is quite prolific, so I can see why she doesn't want to build out pages for each one of these, but it's still worth it. There are tools. Wow, she's really prolific. There are tools that would make this easier. There's a plugin called My Book Table that makes it easier to build out these pages, and it would have previews. It would allow people to read a sample. It's a really great experience. But yeah, I wouldn't link people directly to Amazon, especially without an affiliate link. You're leaving money on the table, Linda. Let's take a look at the contact page. Oh, wow. Okay, so the contact page just links straight to her email address. For all the spammers in the world have scraped this email address and added it to their spam lists. So this is not what I recommend. I have a whole video on contact pages and how to do them well. So Linda, if you're watching this, I encourage you to watch my episode on contact pages. It may reduce your spam. Now, people who link straight to their email address are more protected now than they used to be, because there's a lot of nerds who will set up honeypots. But this is not a good practice to have a public-facing email address. So she has a click here to sign up for news, special offers, and to get a free ebook. This, my eye is not drawn here. It's one of the last things I see, even though it's got some unique colors. If I click on this, it takes me to a subscribe page where I can type in my email address. So at least it's here. She's got her privacy policy on a pop-up. Privacy policies aren't that important. If you're going to have a privacy policy, you put it way down here where you have it linked in your footer. That's for somebody looking for a privacy policy. That's where they're looking for it. They're looking for it in the footer. I bet y'all are all expecting me to get after her for this 3-column design, but this is like the Coca-Cola logo at this point. Like, if you're going to have a design this old and if you've kept it this long, then just keep it, right? Disney and Coca-Cola have signature logos. That style of logo's gone away for 100 years, but it still works because they've been using it the whole time. So don't change, Linda. Just make the website a little bit more useful. Create pages for your book pages. Add a contact page. Put your about page in third person. So there's some room for improvement here. I'm going to put Linda here at B. The fourth most popular author, as I do this, is Lacy Williams, who I know, and she is very tech savvy. So I am expecting really good things from this website. So first off, Lacy Williams, USA Today bestselling author, take a break, ... So USA Today bestselling author is a great credibility boosting phrase. She's got her name in that. But then when we look at this description, this is not about Lacy. This is about one of her books. So I bet you her meta description is blank. Let's take a look. Yep, meta description is blank. So I would take a break for joy. I would cut that. I would make bestselling author capitalized potentially. So a little boost there to the SEO. She's got this banner along the top of her website to join her list. I like that. And this phrase VIP list, I like that too. That makes me feel special as a reader. It's like, ooh, I'm on Lacy's VIP list. And then she's got her most recent book and big, giant, glorious cover. So she's got the cover and then she's got some text about the book. There's no buttons to buy it. So let's click the cover and see where it takes us. And it opens up a new tab, which I don't recommend. So the rule of thumb with new tabs is you want to open a new tab when someone's leaving your website to go somewhere else. You want to stay in the same tab as somebody is on your website. Otherwise, as they're browsing your website, they'll have a million tabs open. So that's a quibble, but it takes us to a page for the book. So it's mostly the same info we have already. And then it's got the series down below. So for this, all the series info, I would just have the covers. I don't think you need all of this text. because I was not expecting to get to anything else. I was expecting it to be the end of the page, but as I'm scrolling, bonus content. People love bonus content, right? This is where you put your book club stuff. This is where you put, insider stuff. I have a whole episode on bonus content. There's a free bonus chapter. This is great. Don't hide this at the bottom, Lacy. Put this higher up. So if I click free bonus chapter, it takes me to a book funnel page. Okay, so this will deliver that. Very good. So yeah, I would, if you're going to have this at the bottom, I would cut all of this text and just show the covers. Your covers are plenty good enough to stand on their own. I click on the cover. Oh no, this takes me straight to Amazon. I don't want to go straight to Amazon. I want to go to the page for that book. I want the cool special stuff for that book. Is this a page for the series? Oh, this is a page for the series overall. All right, so I'm starting to realize how this website works a little now. It works a little bit differently than the typical author website, which is good to innovate. But the challenge with innovation is that readers are expecting your website to work like other author websites work, which tends to be focused on books rather than series. Now, Lacy is very prolific. She's written a whole bunch of books. So she's got Wind River Legacy, Wind River Hearts, Cowboy Fairy Tale series. So I click on Cowboy Fairy Tale series. This will take me to a page. I suspect this is book 1 in the series. It's got a non-affiliate link to Amazon to buy it. And then it's got the other books in this series. So Lacy's very prolific. She's got lots of books. And then she's got the bonus content down here at the bottom. So this is not a search optimized approach for doing this. You're not going to be able to rank for these individual books, but it will give you a chance to rank for the phrase Cowboy Fairy Tale series. If you're using My Book Table, you can have your cake and eat it too. My Book Table's pages won't be quite as pretty as what you're able to do in Divi. So Lacy is using Divi, which is the theme framework that I recommend. It gives you the ability to very easily, quickly build really pretty pages. But yeah, she's not wanting to build a page for each one of her books. Now she's got something here I thought was interesting. Printable book list. So there's a PDF version of this. Print all of her books. This is cool. It's missing the one feature that would really make this pop, which would be a recommended reading order. So a book list is good. A recommended reading order is better because it's that same content, but structured in a, hi, new person, here is where I recommend you get started, which for an author who's written as many books as Lacy is really helpful. And what Lacy might do is put her recommended reading order in a kind of a genre basis. So here's my recommended reading order for contemporary. Here's my recommended reading order for fairy tales. Here's my recommended reading order for historicals, which might be what this is. The other thing I would do on these pages is each one of these books should link to go somewhere. Copying and pasting is a slight annoyance for people on a computer. But for people on their phones, a lot of people on their phones don't even know how to copy and paste. So it becomes a dead end. So I would make each one of these a hyperlink, at least to Amazon. Obviously, preferably it would be a page on your website about that book. So let's take a look at her about page. She got some good photos, which is good, but I would put this in third person. All right, let's go back to the home page. Okay, so remember what I said at the beginning of the video about what's the most important thing, what's the next most important thing, right? What's the most important thing? Your latest book. What's the next most important thing? Getting people on your email list. That's what we have here. Get a free ebook. So we have Read Now, which then takes us to a book funnel page where we can get on the email list, which is good. We have, for people who just want to get on the email list and who don't need the bribe, we have the VIP list. It's right here at the top. It stays with you as you scroll down. She also has this Become a VIP Reader right at the top. So she's getting the big rocks in. And then she's got new in this other series. And then she has this other series. So this is a little overwhelming in terms of content. So how would I handle an author as prolific as Lacy? I think a Start Here page for brand new readers is helpful. Brandon Sanderson finally put together one of these pages, and I think it was a real improvement to his website. So obviously you want to promote the latest book. That's good. You want to promote the latest series, but some more introductory material I think could be really helpful. And knowing Lacy, she probably has that content in her onboarding sequence, but I'd also work that content into her website as well. And there's some more room here to scroll down. One of the things that really helps with having a pretty website, I want you to notice what the graphics are on this. Literally, there's no graphics other than her book covers. She's got this cowboy and romantic interest, but I bet you dollars to donuts that's from one of her book covers. So this is our first stock photo here. So good covers make for good websites. And the other thing is, if I click books here, where does this take me? It takes me back to the homepage. That's not good, especially for people on mobile devices. They're going to be expecting this to go somewhere. And people on mobile devices have a harder time with menus. So right now, really the only way to navigate the website is through the menu. And this books page is doing a lot of heavy lifting. I would make this homepage a lot longer, and I would take some of these pages here and have like a shorter version of that page on the homepage. So as I'm if I'm on a mobile device, as I'm scrolling down, I can find kind of short versions of this. And you're already doing that, right? So Wagon Trail Matches series, Wagon Trail Matches, right? So what you're doing here, do for all of this, and your website will be even easier to use. So where would we rank Lacy? I'm going to put her here at B. Our next best-selling author is Aurora Hanson. So Googling Aurora Hanson, she comes up number 1. Aurora Hanson, it's got the WordPress logo. If you're using Yoast SEO, you can swap out this image here to be something else. So we have Western romance author Aurora Hanson. I love this, putting the keywords that you want to rank for first. Very, very smart. You don't need the word homepage. This will be stronger if you cut the word homepage. And then discover bestselling author Aurora Hanson. Get your free gift today. Westerns with love. I don't object to this. I think get your free gift today gives me a reason to click, right? If I've Googled her and I was on the fence, I want a free gift. Why not? I think this is actually the best SEO we've seen so far. She's got a title tag and she's got a meta description. She doesn't have an H1 tag, but it's the best so far. So the only change I would make is cutting the word homepage from the title. You don't need it there. So it looks like she's doing some kind of promo, like a book giveaway here at the very top. It looks like it's some kind of box set that she's participating in. So that's interesting. All right, so we'll scroll down a little bit. So we have her most recent or her most important book. It doesn't have to be your most recent book. If it's the first book in your series, you want to feature that on the homepage, that's fine too. So I'm going to click this book cover, and this is not a book for sale. This is a free book. Is this true? Pages turn themselves, get your free coffee. Okay, so the free book that she promised in the description is what she's offering here. I click this, just tell me where to send it, put in your email address. I like it. She's got that here as well, which is good. Not everyone's going to click the book cover. Some people are going to click the button. This button's a little low contrast. Purple on orange, white on purple on orange, and the purple is halfway see-through. It's a little hard to see. I would make this potentially more of a button, but that's just a design thing. So here we have her covers. If I click on the cover, it takes me to a page for that book. Oh my goodness. So far, we're doing everything right. Okay, so she's really pushing box sets. She's got the first chapter here, and then she has comments. I would cut these comments. People aren't going to comment on a page like this, but having comments makes people notice that there aren't comments. I would also have some more info about the book before you give the preview. It's okay to have a preview if you're using a plugin like My Book Table. It's got this really great Kindle Instant Preview function built into it. In fact, how do I even buy this book? Clicking on the cover doesn't take me to buy it. That's not good. So if I click here, it takes me to the box set. So if I click this, so I would add a button here to buy it on Amazon, make it real obvious, like buy on Amazon, something like that. And when you click to send somebody to Amazon, I would have that open in a new tab. So right now, if I click to buy this on Amazon, it opens in the same tab. So the rule of thumb, like I said earlier, links to other websites, open in a new tab, links to your own website, open in the same tab. All right, so again, I don't think you need this text here, especially with this many books. I think it's better to just have the grid view of these covers. And then on that page, I would have more than just the preview. I'd also have endorsements and, back cover copy type stuff. Maybe some selected reviews. Yeah, especially because you have so many books. This is too much text. This is overwhelming. I would just have the covers. In fact, with this many books, I would have this first page have images for each series. And then they click the series and they see a drop down for the books in that series. But at the very least, cut all the text and just have the covers here on the books page because you have so many books. I think that'll help make it less overwhelming. And Aurora is in third person. It's not much bio. but at least it's in third person. So it's something. I would have a slightly longer bio. A longer bio will help make it easier to get some media. So there's a certain kind of indie author who doesn't really try to get media. They don't try to get newspapers or podcasts or YouTube channels to talk about them. But earned media can be a really great way of reaching new readers who've never heard of you before. So having a bigger bio page, having a press kit page could be good. Interesting. She has a get in instead of is there no contact page? There's no contact page. So at the very bottom, so that's one thing I would add is a contact page. She has a get in touch here, but it says email protected. Maybe that's because I'm in incognito mode. I don't know. Listen to my episode on contact pages. I would add a contact page. So this isn't a perfect website, but it gets a lot of the fundamentals right. So I'm going to put this our second A tier. All right. The 6th best-selling Christian romance author is Tamara Alexander. She's ranking for her name. Tamara's books, the carton novels. I would put your full name here in your title tag, but this looks like a good description. Official author website for Tamara Alexander. So let's take a look at her title and description. Interesting. Her title is not being pulled in by Google. In fact, her homepage isn't ranking. So the page, when you Google Tamara Alexander, it takes you straight to her books page, not her homepage. So what's going on here? So for the first thing I look for when a homepage is not ranking to see if it's got a no index, like a robots.txt no index, but she doesn't even have a robots.txt. So why is her homepage not ranking? Well, the problem is she's got no text on her homepage. And let's take a look. It's got a good title tag, but there's no text here. So all of these are actually images. This, Tamara Alexander, it looks like text on the video, but this is an image. This is an image. So the first text I see is right here on the sidebar, and Google's not going to give much props to the sidebar. And then the H1, Tamara's latest novel, there's too much H1 text. So yeah, so there's some fundamental SEO things, search engine optimization here that's pretty broken. And it's very unusual for someone with their homepage is poorly optimized. Usually it's the about page that ranks. So let's take a look at the about page, see why this. She's got these meta keywords, which most usually this is left blank. But this is a well-optimized title. Oh, she's got the same description on every page. So this is actually potentially worse than having no description. Having the same description on every page is really bad. And I know this because I made this mistake. I had a theme that had a bug and it put the same meta description on every page. And when I fixed it, my traffic went up by between 10 and 30% over the next month. It was this huge bump in traffic that having the same meta description on all the pages really held me back. So we have a 3-column design here that's not mobile responsive. So this is a really old website. So as I resize this, the page does not respond. So this is a pinch and zoom website if you're on a mobile phone, which may also be hurting her search rankings. So we're here on the home page. We've got a book cover. I'm going to click the book cover, see where I go. I go to a books page. Okay, so I'm going to click the book cover again. Takes me to a page for that specific book. And this is actually not a bad book page. The strongest thing about this website so far are the individual book pages. So we got the cover. We have it twice, which we don't need. We have Start Reading Now, which takes me to a PDF where I can start reading a sample chapter. It's good. She's got a discussion guide. Very good. Audio sample. Very good. It's everything but a buy button. So how do I buy this? I'm going to click this book cover. It takes me back to where I am. Like, click this book cover. Takes me back. So now I'm a reader and I'm having to do some thinking. So I don't see a buy button anywhere on here. So let's look. So it looks like she has some text that says buy now. So if I read enough, I'm clicking buy now, still can't buy it. So now she has print, ebook, audiobook. These aren't buttons, they're just text. I'll click print and it takes me to Amazon with no affiliate link. So there's a opportunity here. The reason why you want buttons is that the button draws the eye. Text it's like a zebra. Text amongst other text, it just disappears. But a button is like a red zebra. You want the eye drawn to that buy button. It'll make it a little bit more likely people will buy from you. So I'd have 3 buttons, print, ebook, and audiobook at the very least. I'd also potentially link to multiple stores. So this is a pretty website, but it's failing on its like fundamental job of being easy to use. So this is the kind of website I would recommend a redesign for, particularly because it lacks mobile responsiveness. So Tamara could really benefit from moving over to Divi. I think that would help fix a lot of the SEO issues. And I think she's probably already in WordPress, so moving to Divi is not going to be as painful. There's also no obvious way to get on her email newsletter. If I look, subscribe to Tamara's e-updates, which that's a really old-fashioned way of phrasing this, which then takes me to a page with an I am robot. This is, oh my goodness. Tamara, you're making it too hard. It's too many hoops to get on your email newsletter, and not enough incentive. Right? There's no text here telling me why I'd want to be on here. So this is only for super fans. Where would I rank Tamara? I'm going to put this, I think this is a D. It does some of the things right. If I really think through it, I can find my way to buying a book. So it's not an F, but it needs a redesign. Hopefully this video has been helpful in giving you some practical ways that you can improve your website design. If you would like me to do this again, leave a comment with what genre you want me to review next. I don't know if this is a popular format. I'm experimenting here, but I do hope that it's helpful. And I do hope that you have an amazing website. So there's room here at the top. While beating Misty and Lacy may be tricky, it's not hard to pull yourself up and have a better website, which can help give you an edge. Will it compensate for poor writing? No. Readers ultimately are going to prefer authors whose books they like over the websites. But when it comes to helping you make more money and making a living as an author, a strong website really can help. And you having a strong website can help pull you up this list, help you get more readers and make more money as an author, which can really help. So don't forget my course, where I teach you how to build a website, how to update the website you already have if it's on WordPress. And regardless of where you built it, it will show you how to make it more for your readers. Our featured patron today is Michelle Levine, author of Enchanting the Prince. Michelle Levine, thank you so much for being a patron of the Novel Marketing Podcast. Thank you for your support that helps keep this podcast on the air. And for all of you who support the show, I really, really appreciate it. Also, let me know what you think of this format. I realize this is a lot different from our typical episode. So like it, don't like it, let me know in the comments below this video. If you want to check the blog version of this episode, visit authormedia.com/452. I'm Thomas Umstattd Jr. saying thank you for listening. Live long and prosper.